Most women think if they need lube, something must be wrong with them, that they're broken or they're getting old or they're just not that into the sex. And this belief is quietly ruining so many sex lives. So today, let's kill the dryness myth, because needing lube does not mean you are uninterested. It does not mean that you are broken. It means that you have a human body. And before we get into it, hi there, I'm Lauren Consul. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified sex therapist, here to help you have more satisfying and secure sex and relationships. Here's how I actually want you to think about lube. Lube is like sunscreen. Now, you don't wait until you're already burned to put on sunscreen. You use it to prevent damage, and lubrication works the same way. Lube reduces friction and micro-tearing and irritation during sex. And for most women, friction is not pleasure. Friction is pain, and pain matters a lot, because when sex hurts when you don't want it to, your nervous system goes into guard mode. The body braces, the pelvic floor tightens, muscles contract, and blood flow shifts. And that guarding response is your body doing what it's supposed to do to protect you. But over time, that protection can become a pattern. Ongoing pain can create anxiety around a coming pain, which can create more pain. It can create avoidance, or conditions like vaginismus, where penetration of anything into the vagina becomes very difficult or impossible or really, really painful. And when that cycle starts, it can take a lot of work to unwind. So this is why prevention matters so much. Now, this is especially important for young women to hear early, which I know is counterintuitive. Most of the time, people think lubrication is for older women, but it is for all women, because research consistently shows that many young women report pain during early sexual experiences, while many young men report pleasure. And this gap is not normal. It's not biology. It's not just something that is bound to happen. It's a lack of education, preparation, and foreplay. And yes, you guessed it, lubrication. And this is where understanding desire also becomes really important, because we tend to talk about desire as if it should just appear out of nowhere. But there are actually two main patterns of desire: spontaneous and responsive. And I have a whole video explaining this, so this is just the cliff notes. But spontaneous desire is desire in anticipation of pleasure, while responsive desire is desire in response to pleasure. So something like touch or connection or feeling emotionally safe, being relaxed, being present in your body, a sexy movie, or whatever it is. Now, many women, not all, but many tend to lean more heavily towards responsive desire. And that means if you are expected to be ready to go the second sex is on the table, it's a setup for frustration and shame and blame and pressure and just not good things that are going to help with continued desire and pleasure and lubrication and all of those things. So here's the key takeaway. Arousal and lubrication are not the same thing. Now, I'm going to say that again because it's so important. I want you to internalize it. Arousal and lubrication are not the same thing. They are related, of course, but they are not interchangeable. Your body's natural lubrication changes constantly. Things like stress, hormones, sleep, medications, birth control, hydration, where you are in your cycle are all going to impact this. You can be mentally and emotionally turned on and still be physically dry. That's not necessarily a desire problem, that's anatomy. So then the question becomes, how do we use lubrication, lube, to actually support desire instead of waiting until things feel uncomfortable or painful and then we get into the cycle? So if you tend towards responsive desire, the answer really is not to force arousal. It's to create conditions where arousal has the opportunity to grow. So here's a strategy that I use all the time with clients. What I want you to do is apply a small amount of high-quality silicone-based lube around 20 to 30 minutes before you think you might have sex. Not during, but before. Insert it internally into your vagina, a small amount, and then step away. You can take a break, watch a show, go read, shower, do whatever you want that helps you feel calm. You are not promising sex. You are not obligating yourself. You are just creating and encouraging the possibility of desire. And this matters because pressure and expectations shut down desire, because our biggest sex organ is our brain. So when our brain is not present, feeling pressure, feeling anxiety, those are not good conditions for desire. When your body knows it's not being forced or rushed or judged, it really has space to respond. So now that I've said every woman should be using lube, young, old, everyone in between, I want to talk a little bit about choosing the right lube, because not all lubes are created equal, and most of the lubes that you see at your common drugstore are not going to be good for you. Because many common water-based lubricants actually dry out tissue over time because they're formulated in a way that pulls moisture from vaginal tissue instead of supporting it. So people can end up reapplying frequently or feeling irritated or kind of being like, why is this dryness feeling worse? Now, sometimes you're going to need a water-based lube because if you're using a silicone toy, you cannot use a silicone lube with a silicone toy. You need to use a water-based lube. So you're going to want to look for a water-based lube that are osmolality balanced, which is just a big word for meaning how concentrated a lube is compared to your body. Silicone-based lubes are really great because they tend to last longer. They don't dry tissue in the same way. But again, if you're using a silicone toy, you're not going to want to use a silicone-based lube. So if you're just using body parts or toys that are not silicone-based, a really wonderful lube is Uber Lube. It is gentle, it is long-lasting, it is luxurious feeling. I really enjoy it. I will link that below if you're interested in checking out. It is a little bit on the pricier side, but it is well worth it. If you take nothing else away from this video, I want you to remember that lubrication is not a measure of interest, of something being wrong with your body, of a verdict on how interested you are in your partner, how much you enjoy the sex. Lube is not extra. It's not an afterthought. It is not a failure. It should be foundational in all of your sexual experiences. Let me know what you think about lube being for all women at all ages. And if you have any favorite lubes, be sure to share them below so we can find all the good ones. And if you want more content like this on how to have more satisfying and secure sex and relationships, be sure to like and subscribe.